Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another LEGO Star Wars 2016 Winter Set Review. Nearly 9 months later, I am back with the Droid Escape Pod set number 75136, ages 7 to 12, comes with 197 pieces, and is retailing for £20 or $25, although I'm pretty confident you can find it considerably cheaper by this point. So, you may be curious to why I'm reviewing this set now. Strictly speaking, by the way, this is not a classic review. A classic review in my eye counts as a set which is at least a year old. In terms of any of the 2015 sets would be classic reviews. This, however, isn't because it was released at the very beginning of this year. So I didn't actually purchase this set. I got this set for my birthday as a gift from one of my family. So I'm very grateful for that. And I just thought, I might as well review it because, you know, why not, more or less. Anyway, so before I review anything, of course, I'm going to have to build this set. So then let's get started. It's a fairly small set, so I presume it won't take anyone longer than 20 minutes or something like that. So, that being said, let's go now and build the Droid Escape Pod. I'm actually recording this several weeks after I did the build of this, so I don't entirely remember what the build of this was like, but I presume it was fairly standard, nothing too special. I will say that these stickers probably were quite cumbersome and quite annoying to put on, although they are quite large, and in my opinion, putting on larger stickers is certainly a lot easier than putting on smaller stickers. Still, let's go now and look at the 4 minifigures we get with this set. To start off, we have the first of our two Jawas. This one does have slightly different printing on the torso, and I will show you the difference in a second. So I just want to say that until now, until this set came out at the beginning of this year, Jawas were pretty rare and did go for quite a lot on eBay and Bricklink. This is mostly because in the Sandcrawler, which was like £250, we got 4, and I believe the only other time we got one was like years ago in the previous Sandcrawler, or maybe some other little Tatooine sets, all of which are extremely old. So these minifigures were quite rare and quite expensive. So I guess, yeah, I am a little annoyed that we got on such a cheap set, so now my Jawas aren't worth as much, although I do completely understand for those of you who can't afford the Sandcrawler and couldn't get it. I do understand that, you know, it's just nice to have them in a cheaper set so you can get few. So if you want to make a Tatooine mock, you know, at least you have some Jawas in there as well. We have this weapon as this taser type thing. For those of you who have been to LEGO Star Wars for ages, like since 2006, you'll know this used to be the weapon, before we had like the standard weapons these days, this used to be the weapon of clone troopers and just pretty much anyone, droids, and just, the nostalgia with this weapon, it's just great. I mean, it was slightly different designed, but still, just amazing. Anyway, taking off the hood, of course, we have the face printing, extremely basic, just those eyes there. It's kind of a bit of a, not a rumor, but almost a myth, almost, of what is underneath the actual hood of a Jawa. So, you know, I'm not entirely sure what the answer is, but still. Of course, we have the torso printing on there, which is very nice, the pouches and all that stuff, because of course, Jawas are scavengers, and thus, you know, have a lot of pouches, a lot of cubby holes type thing. Got a strap back there, and some other stuff. But yeah, really, all in all, a good minifigure. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one we got in the Sandcrawler. I don't really know why they changed it anyway, you know. Of course, Jawas, even if they did come in this rare, you know, not rare, sorry, this cheap set, they are still somewhat rare, you know, because they're not incredibly well known, and of course they're not incredibly much in the Star Wars universe as it is. They're only really on Tatooine at best times, but still, nice little Jawa. Let's now move on to the second Jawa, which only has a slightly different weapon and a slightly different torso printing. And we have the second of our two Jawas. As I said before, the torso printing is slightly different. Not incredibly different, as you can see. Of course, it is quite similar in many ways. But whereas this one's got kind of the more brownish pouches, it's got slightly more black sort of detailing to the pouches as well, which is a nice little addition to give it slightly different. Of course, you can see the weapon is also somewhat different. This isn't actually a weapon piece. I'm not entirely sure what this is. I think if you're into Lego City, you'll know what the specific name of this piece is. But I don't think it's actually meant to be a weapon. It's just kind of Lego has used it as that. Turning around, you can also see the back torso printing is slightly different. These kind of look like ammo pouches, although I don't entirely know why a Jawa would have ammo in the first place. But still, quite nice. And of course, this also comes with a hood, which is a very nice addition. And it's cool the fact we get two Jawas in this set, as I said, although it does bring the price of them somewhat down. But I do understand for those of you who could not get the Sandcrawlers, and for those of you who haven't been into Lego Star Wars since like Turn 4, then I understand how you could have missed these pretty cool minifigures. Still, that is it for the Jawas. Let's now move on to the main highlights of our set. We have C-3PO and R2-D2. The next minifigure we have is C-3PO, which is the same one we also got in the Sandcrawler, which is a pretty nice addition because again, that set was extremely expensive. Believe it or not, C-3PO was actually quite rare back in the day. I mean, he has become far more common now, especially with sets like this. But believe it or not, there was a point where C-3PO was extremely rare, and me, even though I've been collecting Lego Star Wars for years, I didn't have a C-3PO until like maybe a couple years ago, which is kind of extreme. Nonetheless, this C-3PO is still very nice, and of course, if you do not have C-3PO, don't feel bad because he's a pretty rare minifigure. But if you don't have him, this is a pretty cheap way to get him, which is always nice. So of course this is the original trilogy one, not the Force Awakens that has the red arm, but still you can see the printing down below which says cut off. Another little thing which I kind of is a bit annoying, but you know what you're going to do about it. Still we've got the sort of cut off, what is that, silver plating there for the silver leg, and some other printing, and of course the torso printing is very nice, and the helmet mold, something on the helmet, the you know, face, I don't know, do they have helmets, droids? I don't know, whatever the face plate, I suppose, that mold is very nice as well, and you can see the back printing is very good. So yeah, all in all, a pretty gold minifigure, as you can obviously tell. Pretty nice to have in a cheaper set. But yeah, we've seen him before, very nice. And of course, we were going to get him in the Droid Escape. I mean, really, how could they make a Droid Escape without C-3PO? Still, that is it then. Let's now move on to R2-D2. And of course, to finish off, we have everyone's favourite astromech, R2-D2 here. Now, of course, as I've said with all these other minifigures, there's nothing actually particularly special about him relative to other R2-D2s we had in the past, such as the Sandcrawler or even other sets from previous years or just any other sort of really set, because of course R2-D2 is an extremely common minifigure. I'd be extremely surprised if you do not have an R2-D2 somewhere. So of course he's nothing too special. Still nice printing all around. It'd be nice if we got some back printing, but that's just something I've been saying since like the first 3 years I've been on YouTube. Extremely minor thing, but still, why not, quite frankly. The printing on the torso is also somewhat nice, as well as the astromech dome piece on the top, which was quite nice. You've got the purple light there in the front, as opposed to maybe the red light we've had in the past, or maybe the somewhat bluish light, as you can sort of see there. Still, all in all, nice little R2-D2, as of course we would expect in this set. How could you not have a set without C-3PO and R2-D2, called the Droid Escape? Still, nice little astromech, everyone loves him, I'm sure you've already got enough of him. Always nice to get him though. So let's just now move on to the set itself. As you would expect, the Droid Escape pod itself has a fairly basic design and isn't packed with features, because of course it is only a £20 set and has less than 200 pieces. Nonetheless, it does have quite a lot of stickers. Now, as I've stated before, I guess if I had to say something, I am a bigger fan of larger stickers than smaller ones, just because if it's a smaller sticker, I feel that Lego could have printed it, and of course it is a lot more fiddly to put on. Still, you can see there, I'm extremely bad at putting on stickers. I'm just not good, guys. I'm just still not used to it after 10 years. Nonetheless, moving on to the interior, of course, the main feature is the fact that the interior does open, obviously, so that you can put the minifigures in. We also have two more stickers. We have this sticker in the front, which, that's not Arabic. What's it called? Arabesh? I think that's what it's called. The Star Wars language, basically. If you know Arabesh, in which case, it's kind of cool, but kind of nerdy. Please leave down in the comments what the hell that means. I think that's the trajectory of the pod on Tatooine. I don't even know. Still, we've got the porthole here, although technically speaking, isn't that meant to be here? But still, well, the porthole here where the Star Destroyer, of course, you can see in the background as R2-D2 and C-3PO are blasting away from it, trying to escape. Still, we've got some detailing on the back here, but that's not really a feature. It's just, you know, a nice little thing added. And of course, we've got in the interior here, I think this might be slightly improved over previous escape pods, although I don't know. I haven't got any previous escape pods. Still, of course, we've got the space here, as you can obviously see, for R2-D2 and the one here for C-3PO. It only seats 2, of course, because you're not really going to want to see any more. We've got some nice detailing around here, you know, with the reds, things like that. Just gives it a little more added detail. I'm trying to take this off. You can see this is also a sticker, which you put on it, which I put on terribly. I'm so sorry. I think it means something as well. It kind of looks like the Death Star. I'm not entirely sure if it is though. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Because the Death Star, if you lift this entire thing up, ta-da, you can see the Death Star plans quite there. And that is a printed piece, which is very nice. I'm very glad we got that. Although, in all honesty, I can't see myself using it in many things. Like a full-on sort of big sort of 6x6 plate with this on would have been incredibly helpful. Although, of course, I don't expect that in this sort of set. I'm just saying that a 2x2 plate isn't incredibly helpful, but still is a very nice addition. The fact that it is printed with the Death Star thing, so that's very nice as well. It just sits in there through gravity. If I can just put it back in. See, so it just, can fall out very easily, although when you put the flaps over it, it does stay there, so you don't have to worry about it wobbling about. It is there, permanently. And you can spin it about, not spin it about, like rather, just play with it a little, and these flaps are unlikely to come undone, although, they're not actually held there by anything, they're just kind of held there by friction and just general the weight of it, I suppose. Still is quite a sturdy set, I will say. It's quite, of course, again, I can't speak for other Droid escape pods, but it does seem quite sturdy and quite stiff, so it's very nice. And I think, of course, it's got a lot of detailing around the front and the back ends there, because I feel that's the way they try to really make up the pieces. Because in all honesty, the Droid escape pod is kind of an arbitrary set, and I'm kind of surprised they've made like 3 versions of it, because it's just a sort of weird, random set to make so many versions of. Still a nice amount of detailing around here, and of course you can move the engines that way if you really want to. It kind of looks a bit funny, kind of looks cool, and I suppose if you want to, you can make it sort of stand like that. I'm going to compare it to something. Unfortunately, as I've said for the 3rd time now, I don't have any other Droid escape pods, so I'm just going to compare it to the Republic frigate escape pods, which I thought would be quite funny. Still, you can see the height pretty much is exactly the same, and of course this one is significantly bulkier, but this one is of course heavier, because this one's pretty much completely hollow. It's got very little in it. Still, this is quite sturdy, as I've said several times now. A nice addition. You can definitely drop this from a height, and it's not going to break too much. But yeah, I mean, of course, it's a Droid escape pod, so it's kind of designed to take a hit. So, hopefully it can take a hit. But, yeah, all in all, oh, and of course, by the way, if I didn't mention, you can, technically speaking, I can open up. Where is it? Okay, there we go. If you can technically see through there, you can see through the porthole, and you can see inside, although only just, as you can see, there's a very tiny gap there. So, it's not really meant to, but still just saying you can, strictly speaking, see something if you really want to. But there you go, some nice detailing. The stickers do provide a nice level of detailing around it. And that's just a pretty nice addition. But yeah, that's more or less it to the set. Let's now go on to the instruction manuals, if I can learn how to speak English. The instruction manual, as you may expect for a set of the size, is nothing too special. Of course, we have the usual wind thing on the back right there, and flipping through, we of course have the Lego Club on the interior. Nothing too special. You can sign up to Lego Club if you wish at lego.com. Of course, we have the 2014 Anakin's Jedi Starfighter thing on the back, which is a bit odd considering you do get the 2016 like Obi-Wan Kenobi one, so I don't know why I didn't put that one. Still, flipping through, we have 1 page of inventory, and you can see the set and the minifigures back there. We have 55 pages of build and 62 steps. Nothing too special. I can't remember how many bags there were, but I think there were 2. Probably for a set of this size, they're probably 2. So yeah, I mean the fact that it says 1 kind of implies there is more than 1. So yeah, there's probably 2 bags in the set, from what I recall. But yeah, that's pretty much in the instruction manual. Nothing too special. There we go. Then let's move on to the box. The box then is what you may expect for a £20 set. Of course, the exact same one we got all the other 2016 line winter line sets. The ones that cost 20 quid. As you can see there, it's not really a feature, but you can just sort of see on the back there we have the interior. Sorry, not the interior. So the detailing on the exterior. I suppose just to kind of fill up the box art, I suppose. Still, of course, the main feature is the fact it does open up and you can't put minifigures in there, and as well as the this thing, the panel does come up, which is pretty nice. You can see sort of the art there. You got the panel down below, which is kind of cool, and you got the Jawa was trying to capture the droids, although of course it didn't actually happen, but it's just art, so what are you going to do? We've got the dimensions there, which look pretty cool. As I've stated before, I like that kind of thing. It does look pretty nice, looks more technical, and of course we've got the other little things there, and the Droid escape pod escaping the Tantive 4, which is being hunted down by the Star Destroyer. I've got the size reference, all good stuff. Just really, yeah, the same sort of size as any other 20 quid set. That is it. Let's go now and conclude my review of the Droid escape pod. Thank you for watching my review of the Droid Escape Pod 75136. I hope you did enjoy it. If you're curious to when I got this, of course I didn't get this in January 2016. I in fact got it very recently on the 2nd of September for my birthday. Thanks Mum, because I think she watched my videos. But still, I got it as a gift and I am very grateful, of course. Overall, the set is pretty nice. I do have all of these minifigures, of course. Although if you don't have the Sandcrawler and if you don't have that kind of set, then the Jawas may be quite rare for you. So that's another addition. If you want to build a Tatooine mock, then this would be definitely a nice set to have in there. Although a Tatooine mock, in my personal opinion, would be quite hard to build. There isn't really a lot of scenes that happen there, other than, of course, you know, just sort of looking at sunsets, I guess. Still a nice set. I'd give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. Cool set, but all in all, it's not that much of a scene. And in all honesty, I'm a bit surprised LEGO has made so many versions of this set. It seems a bit weird. Still, I presume they're never going to stop making them because it's kind of one of the few scenes that they can really make that's really iconic now, because they've made so many iconic scenes now, they're kind of running out. Still, thank you guys for watching. As I've just said, I hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you in another video. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, troops. Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back for Anyway, so the Droid Escape Pod, set number 75136, ages 7 to 12, comes with not what the in between this. I actually got the regular. Both of these Jawas are the exact same imprinting in every way. As you can see, I'm an idiot, they're not. There's nothing actually particularly different about this minifigure that we've had, but in the instruction manual, as you may expect for a set of this size, is nothing too special. Of course, there are not that many features in this set. I completely forgot about that. Oh my god. The Droid Escape Pod itself, of course, has a fairly basic design, isn't, and oh god.